The city of Manhattan will be closing Manhattan Avenue starting today from the Anderson-Bloomont intersection to Old Claflin Road. As a result, K-State says the A5 parking lot between the Campus Creek complex and Justin Hall will be closed during the duration of the road closure between Monday and Friday for repairs. ADA temporary parking stalls will be moved to new parallel stalls along Bayberry Lane for those needing to park near either building. K-State says during construction, lots A2, A6, and A17 will remain open. You can find a map showing the closure on our website at newsradiokman.com. The Little Apple celebrated the city's 35th annual Juneteenth holiday this long weekend, which was highlighted by a unity walk on Saturday afternoon. Jerdine Coleman is the chair of the Manhattan Juneteenth Planning Committee, and she said this year's walk had one of the highest turnouts she can remember.
The Unity Walk is a special thing for us, and people always come and line up for it every year. So we're excited that we can continue that tradition.
The walk started at Long's Park, and participants marched down Martin Luther King Boulevard and Yuma Street, where they finished at the Douglas Center. City Commissioner Peter Opelt spoke on the importance of supporting the Juneteenth holiday.
In order to have a vital community, we all have to be together. And, you know, when we had a group of folks who were intentionally excluded from the larger group, we have to really be intentional in our inclusion. So I think things like this are really great to just have everybody together and having a good time.
The Juneteenth celebrations also took place in City Park on Friday and Saturday nights, where the crowd heard a performance from Academy Award-winning singer Regina Bell and saw an outdoor screening of 42. Manhattan also hosted the second annual Dock Dogs Aquatic Competition this weekend at Blue Earth Plaza, which featured dogs from all over the country. Kitty Pursley is the organizer for the Little Apple Splash and says the event has grown significantly from last year's inaugural competition. Pursley started the event so that she and her daughter Jennifer wouldn't have to drive hours for similar events. The event has now grown big enough for others to travel significant distances to the Little Apple. There are three main components to dock diving. Big air is the long jump, extreme vertical is the high jump, and the speed retrieve is when the dog is racing against the clock. Riley County Law Board members will meet on Monday to finalize the 2025 budget. Board members voted 4-2 at their last meeting in May to approve a budget that amounts for $28.5 million total, and is a total increase of $1.8 million from last year's budget, or a 5.88% increase. The proposed budget also includes a 3.8% cost of living adjustment. Board members will meet at noon in City Hall. Pottawatomie County Commissioners are expected to meet this morning for their weekly meeting. On Monday's agenda, the commission is set to hear department updates from the county appraiser Robin Knobloch, as well as EMGT, Fire, EMS, Public Works, as well as the administration office and county counselor. One item on the consent agenda will be a vote on tax corrections from commissioners. The meeting gets underway at 8:30. Riley County Commissioners also meet this morning to review and potentially approve an agreement with Prairie Paws Animal Shelter that will cost the county a flat fee of $5,000 from the end of this month until next February. The commission will also receive updates from county officials on individual departments. The meeting gets underway at 8:30. Pottawatomie County officials will host a town hall meeting for residents affected by the April 30th tornado on June 30th. The meeting will be on the day of the 2-month anniversary of the storm. It will be held at the Westmoreland Community Center at 202 Main Street. Dinner and daycare will be provided. The town hall was announced on a Facebook post last Thursday after the city of Westmoreland established a long-term recovery group to aid in the next steps following the storm. In addition to members of LTRG, representatives for the Kansas Insurance Department, Kansas Legal Services, Habitat for Humanity, Hope Builds Community, and more will be present to assist residents. A Republican Kansas lawmaker had already dropped his re-election campaign last month after he was arrested in a traffic stop, has now been barred from practicing law for at least a year for mishandling conflicts of interest in a murder case. The Kansas Supreme Court ruled that State Representative Carl Mon of Colwich violated professional standards while representing 57-year-old Brett Blevins in a 2016 crash that killed 2 men, according to the Kansas City Star. The conflicts of interest in the case came up because Mon had previously represented Blevins' girlfriend, Tammy Akers, in DUI cases, and he accepted $30,000 from her and her husband to defend Blevins. The Supreme Court ruled that conflict of interest waivers Mon had Blevins and Akers sign didn't adequately address the situation or fully inform them of the consequences. He's facing 2 misdemeanors and 2 traffic violations after a traffic stop in Topeka in March. He was charged with possession of a firearm while under the influence, DUI, failure to signal a lane change, and failure to maintain safe passage from a single lane.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines on K-Man's Morning News. Shohei Ohtani had his second 2-homer game of the season. Tyler Glasnow pitched 7 innings of 3-hit ball, and the Dodgers dropped the Royals Sunday afternoon 3-0. Ohtani had been struggling, batting just .219 for the month of June, and with most of his contact being ground balls. For at least one game, he was able to reverse that because he got well against Brady Singer. The Japanese superstar drove a sinker from Singer 451 feet over the center field wall with 1 out in the 3rd. He then picked up his 18th career multi-homer game, connecting on a first-pitch slider from Singer in the 6th. He deposited that over the right field wall.
I went out to make the pitching change. Freddie said they were both pretty good pitches, the sliders. So I don't know exactly. I didn't go back and look at them, but looked like they might have been sitting on them.
Manager Matt Quatraro, as Singer then allowed a Freddie Freeman solo shot right behind the second homer from Ohtani. That gave the Dodgers all the runs they would need in the victory. Bobby Witt Jr., who leads the majors with his .327 batting average, finished with one of Kansas City's 3 hits on the day as the team was shut out for only the second time this season. The Royals are off tonight. They'll open a set with the A's tomorrow evening in Oakland with coverage at 8 on News Radio KMAN. The team that ended K-State's baseball season a weekend ago became the first team eliminated from the College World Series yesterday. Virginia was knocked out of the tournament in a 7-3 decision to Florida State. Top-seeded Tennessee kept their run going on the winner's bracket with a 6-1 win over North Carolina. Today, NC State and Florida tangle in an elimination game. Kentucky will meet Texas A&M in a winner's bracket tilt tonight. Chiefs defensive tackle Isaiah Buggs arrested for the second time in a month on a charge of domestic violence and burglary in Alabama over the weekend. He was released on a $5,000 bond on Sunday per records from the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office. The 27-year-old Buggs had turned himself in May 30th after being charged with 2 misdemeanor counts of second-degree animal cruelty. The Chiefs signed him this past offseason after he spent 3 with the Steelers and 2 with the Lions. The Chiefs say they're aware of the case but declined to comment further. K-State's recent run of commitments for the football class of 2025 continued yesterday as Lakeland, Florida corner JoJo Scott gave his word following an official visit to Manhattan this weekend. The 3-star recruit chose the Wildcats over 16 other schools who had expressed interest, among them Iowa State, Nebraska, and Kansas. His commitment comes as part of a hot stretch where K-State has gotten 5 nods over the past week. He becomes the 8th commitment for the 2025 recruiting class. League MVP Adrian Martinez was named the UFL Championship MVP yesterday after leading Birmingham to a 25-0 win over San Antonio in that league's title game. Martinez finished the day 13 for 23 passing for 98 yards and a touchdown. He ran for another 54 and scored twice on the ground. Bryson DeChambeau climbed back into the most famous bunker at Pinehurst No. 2, this time carrying the U.S. trophy with him instead of his sand wedge. He filled the silver prize with grains of sand to commemorate him getting up and down from that bunker to deliver another unforgettable finish at Pinehurst in winning his 2nd U.S. Open title.
1000th USGA championship. I mean, just stack them on top. That bunker shot was the shot of my life. And I'll forever be thankful that I've got long.
Rory McIlroy had a 1-shot lead until missing a 30-inch par putt on the 16th hole, and tied for the lead on the 18th, McIlroy missed a par attempt from just inside 4 feet. The Boston Celtics' catastrophic performance in Game 4 of the NBA Finals gives them a chance to clinch their unprecedented 18th championship under the banners that already hang at TD Garden. The coach, Joe Mazzulla, reminding him that they still would have 2 more chances after that, but they find themselves wanting to clinch it tonight. The series in Boston, with the Celtics leading 3-1 over the Mavericks, who picked off a 122-84 win Friday night to extend the series. Ryan Blaney dominated the inaugural NASCAR Cup Series race at Iowa last night for his first win of the season. Blaney led 4 times for a career-high 201 laps and finished just under 3/4 of a second ahead of William Byron for his 11th Cup victory all-time. The Royals off tonight. They'll open a stint with the A's tomorrow evening at 8:40. Our coverage will get underway at 8 o'clock. The Game this afternoon at 4 on News Radio KMAN.